Day 772 of doing a LeetCode problem every day until I get a job. All right, y'all, we're back again. Another day, another LeetCode problem where we're doing daily LeetCode problems. And today we have question number 744, find smallest letter greater than target. The difficulty level is easy, so you already know we're going to keep the solution as simple and easy to understand as possible. But before we get started, y'all, don't forget to like, hype, subscribe, comment, and share. And if you need any new Apple AirPods, go on and check out that link in the description so you can get you some. Now let's see what the question says. You are given an array of characters, letters, that is sorted in non-decreasing order in a character target. There are at least two different characters and letters. Return the smallest character and letters that is lexicographically greater than target. If such character does not exist, return the first character and letters. All right, y'all, so that may seem a little bit confusing at first, so let's go ahead and take a look at these examples just to make sure that we are doing this problem correctly. So, in example 1, our input letters equals an array of strings C, F, J, target equals A. The output is C. Explanation says the smallest character that is lexicographically greater than A in letters is C. So, let's break this down one step further, right? We have our target as A, and we want to find the next letter or the closest letter to A that comes after A in the alphabet that's in this array right here. So as we can see that C is closer to A, or C comes before, or C is closer to A than F and J, and it comes after A, right? If it would have came before A, that would have been different. But since it comes after, C is our choice, and that's why we return C, because C is the next letter in the alphabet after A out of all of these three letters. Boom. So just in case that didn't make sense, y'all, let's take a look at example 2. So in example 2, our input letters equals an array of strings C, F, J. This time target equals C, and the output is F. Explanation says the greatest character that is lexicographically greater than C is F. So in this case, our target is C. But remember, I was saying up here with A, we want the letter that comes after A, not before A and not A itself. So in this case, we have C, but C is equal to C. That's C itself. We don't want that. We want the next letter that comes after C. In this case, it would be F. Between F and J, we run into F before we run into J when we're going through the alphabet, right? A, B, C, D, E, F, right? So F comes first, so that's why we return F. Boom, y'all. Now, just in case that didn't make sense, let's take a look at example 3, where they may try to throw another trick question our way. So in example 3, our input letters equals string X, X, Y, Y. The target is Z. The output is X. Explanation says there are no characters and letters that is lexicographically greater than Z, so we return letters of 0. So in this case, we all know Z is the last letter of the alphabet. So remember, since no letters come after Z, then there are no lexicographically greater characters than Z, right? And then it says up here, if such a character does not exist, return the first character and letters. So in this case, no character is lexicographically greater than Z, because Z is the last character in the alphabet. So the first character in letters is X, so that's why we return X, which is letters of 0. Boom, y'all. So now that we understand the question, let's get into the fun part, the actual solution. The solution is not that difficult at all. Now, the first thing we need to do is we need to create a variable that stores the smallest character we found so far that is still greater than the target. So we'll come right here, declare a variable called min-char. We'll say colon, it's going to be a character, and we'll put the question mark. Boom. Now we need our binary search pointer. So we're going to declare a variable, open up the parentheses, L, comma, R. Come outside of that, we're going to set that equal to, open up the parentheses, 0, comma, letters, dot count minus 1. Boom. Now we're going to search while there's a valid range. So we'll come underneath this and we'll say while L is less than or equal to R. We'll open up the brackets, and we need to get the middle index of the current search range. So we're going to say let mid equal, open up the parentheses, L plus R, come outside of that, divided by 2. Boom. Now, if the middle character is greater than the target, it is a possible answer. So we'll say if letters, square bracket mid, come outside of that. It's greater than target. We'll open up the brackets and we're going to save the current character if this is our first valid candidate. Otherwise, we'll keep the smaller of the two candidates so we could get the closest letter that is still greater than the target. So we're going to say min char equals min char equals nil. Then we'll say question mark letters square bracket mid, come outside of that, colon min, open up the parentheses, min char comma letters square bracket mid. Boom. So if this right here is equal to nil, and if this returns true, then we'll return letters of mid. If this right here returns false, meaning this right here does not equal nil, then we'll return the minimum of min char and letters of mid. Boom. But we're not done yet because we need to continue searching the left half because there might be an even smaller valid answer. So we'll come underneath this and we'll say R equals mid minus 1. Else would come right here. We'll say else. We'll open up the brackets and the current character is less than or equal to the target, so any valid answer must be to the right. So we'll say L equals mid plus 1. Boom, y'all. And if we found a valid character, we return it. Otherwise, we wrap around and return the first letter in the array as required by the problem. So we'll come right here and we'll say return min char question mark letters dot first exclamation point. Boom, y'all. That should be all she wrote. Let's give it a run. Make sure it runs properly before we submit it. And we got an error. Let's see. We say if letters of mid. Oh, we have to force unwrap this right here. We need to put an exclamation point. So now let's run that again, see if that did the trick. It's accepted, so let's go ahead and submit it. Make sure it's still accepted after we submit it. And look at that, y'all. 0 milliseconds beats 100% of users. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I like to see, y'all. So before we go, make sure you get one more look at the code. And yeah, y'all, with that being said, I hope y'all learned something today. And I hope to see y'all here tomorrow for another day, another LeetCode problem. See y'all then.